Hello everyone and welcome back. Neutral Gamer here, and today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to get with everyone else and cast my predictions on Nintendo's new console. I want to talk about what I think it's going to be along with what I would like it to be. So, hopes, dreams, fears. So to start off with, I think the one thing that everyone is talking about, and I for one agree with, the rumors are just going about with a lot of things, and one of them is that the next console will be as powerful as the PS4. Whether or not this is true, who's to say? There's been lots of articles about it. I think I've even heard somewhere that Final Fantasy, I think, was playing on it or something like that at a good frame rate. I don't remember details. There's just a lot of stuff like that going on that would make me think it would be as powerful. And I think Nintendo is learned that they need to catch up to the powerhouse as far as consoles go. PlayStation's always been on top of it. Xbox, it's owned by Microsoft, enough said. Yeah, Nintendo's way behind on it, and I think the Switch, they kept it toned down on purpose just because they wanted to keep it affordable range and to show everyone out there that it is a good console and it can be better. And I think this next console is going to be just that, the Switch, but better. So in terms of power, I think it's going to be 10 out of 10, really great. And I think we're going to see a lot more third party. Alright, and now the next thing to talk about is one that I, for one, am most curious about. Power is good and all that, but let's face it, one of the things we as Switch owners should worry about is backwards compatibility. Nintendo has been often on the rail track with this. They've been, for the most part, they love backward compatibility on most of their consoles. There is a few, like the Wii U. Yeah, that wasn't backwards. It was backwards compatible. I'm sorry. The Switch wasn't backwards compatible with the Wii U. Well, obviously, cartridge, disc, big difference, can't do that. And Nintendo typically doesn't go no more than a generation back with their consoles as far as compatibility goes. So, I guess when you look at history, it should be backwards because the next console should reflect back to the current, which is the Switch. So all fingers point towards they should make it backwards compatible. I mean, it'd be a bad call for them not to do that. Millions of people own the Switch right now. We all have sunk hours into games. We're not done sinking hours into them. We're just having such a grand time with it. Honestly, they could not release a new console and we'd continue to support the console more or less. We'd bicker and whine, but but that's just how good it is, and that's why they need to recognize that no, let the fans play current Switch on the future new Switch. If they don't make it backwards compatibility, there's going to be a lot of sad people, myself included, out there. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of my Switch for sure, but I don't know, it's just something about, no, a new console. It's like, I don't want to bounce between consoles. I don't know, it's a headache, and one of the rumors going out there is it's possible Nintendo might be like, oh, we're going to make you buy the game over if you want to play it on our new console. I put my foot down right there, Nintendo. I will not rebuy any game that's currently on the Switch. Any game. Quote me, people. I won't rebuy it for the next console. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything I own on the Switch runs really good. Some exceptions being some online games, but most of those are free to download. So, what are you gonna do, Nintendo? Tell the companies charge me for their games? Good luck with that. Um, so yeah, I think it will be backwards compatibility, and I want it to be. A next key feature that I think we should talk about is um, features slash gimmicks. Um, this is a big one for Nintendo because they love gimmicks. Okay, every console's got a gimmick. Um, so I don't know what might be what their go to will be this time. Um, it probably won't be nothing super dazzling, you know. We're not gonna go ooh ah over. I really think this next console is gonna be very similar to what we have now in terms of Switch. I think some stuff will be added on. Like I think we're gonna get, a camera, like people are saying. Um, I can see us getting a camera. Whether or not we get a front facing and rear facing, I don't know. But I, for one, would like if I could only have one in terms of power and keeping the price down. I would prefer a rear facing camera outward. I don't care too much about my face. I know some people out there are like, oh no, it'd be cool and all that. I played 3DS. I've had that experience, and it'd be cool. But if I have to sacrifice one, it'd be the front. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just not a big grabber for me. I do think they will add in a mic as well. That's just something I think they really missed out on. And let's look back at when they first announced the Switch. They're bragging on how much it was containing a little bit of all of their consoles through the years. What have most of their consoles contained? They all had a mic. And the Switch does not have a mic in any way, shape, or form. Do we need a mic? Not really, but let's face it. If we're playing online with friends, a mic's good for communication. Otherwise, it forces us to get headphones or something with a mic attached so we can communicate with them. So yeah, I think it'll come with a mic. I do think it's gonna come with. Okay, I'm not gonna say thing. I hope it comes with new Joy-Cons that don't drift. Okay, this is a big one, Nintendo. I hope if you have been watching any of my videos in hopes of taking them down or something, listen to what I'm about to say here. No drift Joy-Cons. N-O, period. No drift. Um, they couldn't have liked it as much as we didn't like it because they lost the lawsuit with the Joy-Con drift thing. The issue was we had to send in our Joy-Cons to go get fixed. And sure, it cost them a pretty penny in repairs and all that, but we were without our Joy-Cons, and unless you had backups, you weren't playing your Switch. I went through several pair. This is a real issue. Shockingly, when I bought the OLED version of the Switch, my Joy-Cons remained good. I did not encounter any issues with them. Granted, I have stopped using Joy-Cons for the most part. I have turned over to the Pro Controller, but still, playing in handheld mode especially, it's just a no. So, no drift Joy-Cons. I don't know if they'll do it, but I'm hoping they're gonna do it. Next issue, I've recently have seen some awesome footage of some people's ideas of what the next Switch console could look like, and one of them I want to discuss briefly on is some people think when it's docked, it has that camera, which I think would be the front-facing one, the one I said I would prefer to get rid of if I had to choose. Have it so it scans out the room, like it can detect you, um, or something like that. One of the things I did like that I seen was when it's docked, it can have like a clock or something on it. Now, I'm not sure how that would work. We don't leave our TVs on when we're not using them. At least I don't. I've always been an odd one out. But yeah, maybe the dock could, I don't know, have some sort of cheap screen on it or something. I'm not for sure. Next up, one of the things I want them to bring back is the IR camera that's on the Joy-Con. That, it's the right or left. I forget which one it is. And I know what you're thinking. What do you mean bring back? It's still there. It still works. How do you know it still works? When's the last time you used it? Unless you're still playing 1-2 Switch, you don't know if that camera works. We could have been scammed for all we know. That camera could have had a battery life of 1 year or something, because nothing supports it. Nintendo, it's like, even motion controls, it's like, I'm not saying you have to make all your games use your gimmicks. But why did you bother putting on this stuff that I'm sure jacked the price tag up? And they're always saying we made cuts to keep it affordable, and everything. Is like, well, it sure would have been a whole lot more affordable if you would have removed the stupid camera. Money could have been saved there, Nintendo. Honestly, the camera is my biggest gripe here, next to the motion controls. Why is it there? Someone explain this to me. Um, it's a thing, I mean, we're paying for it and we don't get a chance to use it. So I guess at this point, I thought it was cool when they announced it, but if it's not going to work up to its true potential, then I guess just remove it. Help me save some money here. Otherwise, start designing some of your games to work with it. I don't know, Mario Party, I'm sure, I'm not a big Mario Party fan per se, but some of the mini games I think could have somehow improvised. They definitely could have done something with it. I mean, shoot, they went so far as to be like, hey, guess what? If you all get together and you own the same game and you shove your consoles together, guess what? They all connect. Yeah, anyone remember that little mini game? I doubt anyone does, because we never got a chance to really use it because, yeah, I get together with my friends all the time, and yeah, we all buy the same multiplayer game that we intend to play together. Yeah, we don't make cuts and buy just one copy because we're only going to play it when we're with friends. That's how the system works, right? Yeah, so, I don't know, I'm just like, use or get rid of. That's where I stand. I would like to see this come back, though. Another thing I want to talk about is internet. Raise your hand if when you first got your Switch, how it did not want to connect to your internet full strength. You're looking at the speed when you run a connection test and you're like, my internet's better than that. And then the bars dance around, it's not full strength. It might be 2 dots, or maybe 1, but mostly consistent with 2, but never 3 solid all the time. You set your console, in handheld mode, and you put it right on top of your router trying to see how close does it have to be before it gets a strong signal. Raise your hand if that sounds like you when you first connected your Switch to the internet. I'm raising my hand. Yeah, no. The Wii U, Nintendo's worst console in history connected better to the internet. I'm not saying online worked better. I'm just saying it connected better. Um, I could download games off their shop way faster than I can games off the shop on the Switch nowadays. I'll be the first one to admit I have terrible internet. But the point is, I saw the difference in it. The Switch does not want to connect to the internet at full power. I don't know what the issue is. I'm no techno genius. I know there's someone out there being like, oh, it's because of the coding or whatever, or, your environment. It's like, can we all get off the technical bandwagon here? The point is, there was a difference when all this took place, and I just think, go back. This next console needs to connect to the internet more stably. Yes, the weaker the internet, the worse it's going to be. The point is, though, if the Wii U could connect better and hold a much more stable connection, then so can this next console. I play Super Smash Brothers, okay? And I know that's got a lot to do with the servers and the coding. First off, Nintendo uses the same servers. They don't update them or anything. I know the coding is a big thing in games. Let me just put in perspective. Playing Super Smash Brothers on the Wii U, I could probably count on both my hands the number of times I got disconnected or had lag. It was that seldom. I had good matches, and I didn't really gripe. Even the 3DS Super Smash Brothers, I can only recollect one occasion where I had a disconnection. One time. The Switch version, I encounter lag all the time. I have to make sure my internet, I know it's because I've got weak internet. I have to make sure my Switch is the only thing running off from it. But I didn't have to do that before. So why is it I have to upgrade all my equipment to keep up with Nintendo's lack of power? I don't know, maybe power is the big problem. You let me know in the comments if you think power is going to solve some of these issues I'm discussing about. Moving on. Launch titles. Very important. I know this is not talking about the console per se, but it is going to determine how strong of a start it's going to have in terms of sales, and it could affect future sales. Who knows? But I think it needs to have 4 different types of games available at launch. I'm not saying just 4. I'm just saying 4 different types, And what I mean by that is, 1, it needs to have a good multiplayer game at launch. We're overdue for a new Mario Kart. That could be a possibility. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I could be wrong. They just got done showering us with DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I really don't think they're going to so quickly be like, guess what, guys? Ready to sink more money down in Mario Kart? No, I don't think they're going to do that. So, but that's what I mean, though, is we need a good multiplayer game to really help grab that particular crowd. The second type of game that we need is a good single-player game. And let me rephrase that. What we need is 2 really good single-player games. With the option of co-op, sure, why not? I'll include that. And what I mean by 2 different types is, 1, well, it needs to be a relaxed one, like, I don't know, maybe a new Mario game. I'm a diehard Mario fan. I'll be the first to admit, I really want a new Mario game. I've heard several rumors that, hey, they might do, a Breath of the Wild version of Mario. Oh, I would go head over heels if that happened. In reality, I don't think it's likely. But I think we could get a new Mario game to be a launch title. And, Mario usually tends to be in that difficulty of, anyone can play it. It has its areas where it's harder, but for the most part, it's rated for the everyone audience. The other single player game I think needs to be a little more hardcore. I'm talking more on the line of, just more serious with actually pay attention. That's super hardcore. What I'm aiming for is Metroid Prime 4. If you are a Metroid fan, especially a Prime fan, you're with me. Don't deny it. You're with me when I say we need that to be a launch title. Metroid is it's sitting as good as it's ever sat, if not better. Um, Dread, when it came out, was such a huge hit. I don't care what anyone says. It was a hit. It did well enough. They gave us DLC for it. I intended on getting back into it. But then they gave us the first Metroid Prime remastered. They redid it, They actually fine-tuned it, graphically wise. It was so beautiful to look at. They really took their time with it. They know they've got something good here. They know Metroid is hot right now. And Metroid meets that particular audience of I like single player and I want something with a challenge. Prime can deliver that. And we ain't seen no footage of it either. I don't know about you, but this is taking longer than Breath of the Wild. I know they scrapped the game, but how long ago did they scrap the game? I don't remember either without looking it up. That's how long it's been. So, no. I think they are going to announce that that's going to be a launch title. The fourth type of game, I think it's going to be something on the line of Wii Sports Resort, or like a Nintendo Land. A game that's really designed to show off the console's full capabilities with all of its gimmicks and everything. I miss that. The Switch didn't have that, and it was a little sad. 1-2 Switch, I think, was meant to be something like that, but let's all be honest, it was short-lived. I still love Nintendo Land, Wii Sports. Oh, yeah, so good. 1-2 Switch, I don't even know if I still have it. So yeah, they need one of those. And I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here, but I want to talk about one more thing that nobody, I can't find on the internet. Nobody is talking about this. The one feature that this new console should have, and I hope it has, is something the Wii U had. That's right. The Switch the Switch does not have something that the Wii U has. Their worst console, I admit, but it had a feature I loved about it. And I do not understand why that went away from the Switch. They advertise this console, it's like everybody's together. They all have their own Switches and all that, docket, boom, the whole family can watch. And it's missing this feature. Can anyone guess it yet of what I'm hinting at? Probably not. 5-player mode. Multiplayer up to 5 people. All my life, that's what it's been, is 4 players, which is done well for us. But how many out there, have friends and family that you're like, we're above 4 together, but we all would love to play this together. And that's why you flock to online games that are like 16 plus people or whatever. I don't understand it. 2 games right off the top of my head. Mario Kart 8. Even Sega jumped on the wagon with, I think it was called Sonic All Stars Racing, something like that, on the Wii U. Those games supported 5 players. They're like, yeah, we'll split the screen down, 4 people look at the TV, 1 person looks at the tablet. The Switch could have easily have done that. How hard would it have been to, instead of docking the Switch, I get that was the main function, but this is what they could have done. They could have been like, hey, if you got friends or family that have a Switch, how hard would it be to be like, guess what? You all can play together in the same room, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe could have been like, hey, that person that's got their Switch, they can play with you on those races. No, it's all set up now, so it's like, you got to go online. There are ways around this, and I'm sad the Switch missed out on it. So this new console needs to bring that back, and don't stop at 5. Shoot for whatever the limit of the game is. If you can, why not? I mean, come on, Mario Kart 8, was it 12 racers at a time? Why not? It's like the odds are no one's ever going to use that full capability, and they can slap a warning label on it being like, hey, it may not be so steady or whatever. Fine, whatever. The point is it's there. And Nintendo's all about, they're like, we're that family gaming company, and it's like, well, you kind of dropped the ball, didn't you? Excuse me. So yeah, that's something I want them to bring back. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot one last thing. Street Pass. Some form of Street Pass. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're a 3DS owner. Fun little mini games that worked around you meeting people that own the same console as you. I want to see them bring that back, but with a bonus added onto it. Our cell phones can work in place of it. Have it set up so I was like, sure, carry your new Switch around with you and it'll communicate, and you can meet people that you passed up or whatever. I would like my phone to also have that capability. I don't know about you, me personally, I like things pocket size. I carried my 3DS with me for Street Pass all the time because it fits in my pocket. My Switch, if it had that function, I think I would have been less likely to have utilized it. I don't want to carry my Switch with me everywhere I go, just to interact. So, that's what I want to see. And that pretty much wraps up my rambling of what I want Nintendo to do with their next console. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts and hopes are, for the new console. What games do you think should be launch titles? And what do you think the cost is going to be? I'm betting on $400, folks. That's my guess. What's yours? You have a great day, and until next time, take care.